just stayed on. He should have, and yes, he said he'd step down, but that was a dumb thing, and that was arrogance to say I'll step down, because he obviously assumed he wasn't going to have to. And then boom, just like that, you're no longer Prime Minister, my man.
But that's exactly what Theresa May's done. Yeah, she's in her last last try to get the vote. She put in to sweeten the deal. She was going to step down.
Shame, man. I feel sorry
and
for her.
It was still rejected.
Rejected. They still said no. We ain't even going to take that.
But now she has to step down.
It's like, what are you going to do now, bro? And I don't even know who will be next, dude. In all honesty,
nor do I.
Because Michael Gove's not popular. It's something to do with schools. I don't know exactly what, but a lot of my teacher mates hate him. And then obviously Boris Johnson made the comments about dudes in Africa having watermelon smiles and all that kind of crap as well. You know what I mean? And so after that, there ain't too many shining lights in the Tory party to run the country. To be honest with you, maybe. Do you know who I do find quite funny, bro? When I see him on Question Time, is a dude called Jacob Rees-Mogg. And he once did an interview with Ali G about being posh, and that he strikes me as an extremely posh kind of fellow. But he's hella funny, bro. Look him up, Jacob Rees-Mogg. He tells it as it is, bro. And yeah, don't get me wrong, he's a really posh conservative dude. But you can tell he doesn't really give a crap about what his other politician mates think of him. He's never been a front bencher or anything like that. And and that's basically what I can think of. Apart from that, you just got Boris Johnson and Michael Gove, who aren't really popular people because they're dicks.
I mean, I've been told that Boris Johnson has recently cut his hair and everything, so he's kind of...
New man.
Yeah, you know, he's looking like he's in the run-ins. Or he feels like he is.
He wants to get he doesn't want to get confused with that moppy blonde hair.
No, that was the old Boris.
That was the old Boris, when he was still on his bicycle and that. And apparently, he's quite a clever dude, he knows 5 languages.
I can imagine he probably is.
He's quite a smart, but also he was, this could be complete fake news, warning. But when I was living in Oxford, so he went to Oxford and he always dissed David Cameron for studying PPE because he said that's supposed to be the Prime Minister's group, but he said it's rubbish. I can't remember what he studied, but he was part of, I don't know if you've seen the movie Riot Club. It's he was part of some kind of group like this. For the life of me, I can't remember the name. That always wear Wellington boots. Man, I can't remember, like Willingdon Club or something like that. But basically, it was a bunch of rich lads who would go and set money on fire in front of homeless people, or run into an off license and mash it up, but then throw some money on the floor to compensate for the guy and go into pubs. And apparently, he did this, and he even had an arse in charge because he set a pub toilet on fire and stuff like that. Because when he was just like a young rich lad, all the money in the world, dudes, and there was a whole thing, of course, that David Cameron put his willy in the pig head's mouth and all that kind of stuff. So the stuff these posh people get up to at uni. I don't think it's all sophistication. You know what I mean? And people being civilized. And these are the dudes who are going to have their finger on the button.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's great. And so, basically we left in a bit of a ruck. We either have to hope the Tories can cough up something, or you can have Jeremy Corbyn. He's a dude who I've always thought is a bit flaky, and I think he says a lot of what he says to make people happy and so he can get into power, in my honest opinion, because he's always got the right stuff to say, and it's no, mate. And even with the Brexit thing, he was always very critical of the EU and saying, how can you follow laws from Brussels? But then as soon as it turned out there was a lot of appetite to remain.
I know that guy over there. Sorry, one second.
Popular man, head over. Did you know him?
Yeah,
was it weird?
Yeah. I know him. Yeah.
Okay. You're a celeb, bro.
Huh?
You're a celebrity, bro.
No, I know him through one of my... Do you know Sophie?
Ooh,
the blonde girl, she goes to...
Oh, yeah.
She does,
I saw on Monday, actually.
Poetical Word, yeah. So she... I met him through Sophie.
Alright.
So, he's a comedian as well, so...
Alright, that's a tough gig, man.
Yeah.
Making people laugh is... I much prefer what we do, dude. It's I think it's far easier to make somebody cry or be angry than what it is to make somebody laugh, bro. That's a whole... Because it's quite, sad is pretty universal when, something sad, do a poem about a kid dying or something like that. you want to make angry a poem about like a rape or something like that, but to make somebody laugh, you have no idea. I don't have any idea really.
Well, funny that me and Sophie are going to be starting an event soon.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't want to say on here. I'll tell you afterwards.
Don't give that away, bro.
It's to do with poetry and comedy.
Okay. Yeah, don't give away the big reveal.
Yeah.
You can speak about it off podcast very strategically for your plans.
But yeah, it's a good idea. Hopefully it will blow once we figure out all the logistics, speak to the venue where we want to do it and everything.
Man, that's exciting. Yeah, that's quite nice. Guys are making moves, bro.
Yeah. It's just an idea we had like randomly.
Hey, but you have to. That's how everything starts, isn't it? You know what I mean? You have to take these things and run with it, have a little, and just throw in it sometimes. I think, bro.
So I will talk about this thing.
Right.
The teacher who introduced the mental health checkboard, so students can share their feelings. I just thought it was like dope. Like
I think stuff like that leaves me having faith for the future, bro.
I know, right?
I might have come off as like a really cynical, pessimistic person here, but like, and I'm not. But the problem is that kids don't know how to really articulate what's going on with them. And I'm not saying your kids are dumb, but you're only like 10 years old, aren't you? And you're not going to be able to say, I think I've got bipolar or something like that. They're probably just going to say, I don't feel well. And that's as much as what you're going to get out of them. So to have something as obvious as saying happy, sad, angry, or whatever, all of a sudden it can give the teacher a bit of a marker in terms of what's going on. What other things do you think that teachers would be able to do apart from that in terms of checking mental health? It's difficult.
I don't know, it's difficult. What else can you do? And it's kind of, I guess it gives from this process anyway, as the pictures of the board, it kind of looks like this.
Okay, alright, okay, so I'm great, I'm okay, I'm meh, I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time and wouldn't mind a check-in. I'm in a really dark place. Whoa, that's proper sad, man. Jeez. All right, that last one's proper sad. And someone's they've got stickers there even.
So basically, the reason why it was set up is a teacher in San Francisco. She's gone viral for sharing this ingenious idea to help study where the children's mental health is. And it's after having several students attempt suicide in the past 5 years. So because of that, she thought, well, this is obviously a thing that we need to be talking about, and like they need to have some sort of outlet where they can feel comfortable to share how they're
comfortable. I think that's the doozy there, is being comfortable, because I think there's lots of stigmas around it, and you know what kids are like, bro. As soon as one kid says something, well, I think I could be whatever, or unfortunately a lot of kids will just be like, you're a weirdo, whatever. So it is for children to feel comfortable about speaking about their mental health without the stigmas.
100%.
That's something that's hella difficult, and hats off to teachers, because they have to deal with that and all repercussions and everything like that.
Exactly, and if you can get them talking about it from a young age, it's only a hopeful thing that they're going to continue talking about it into their adult life. So, and then
you're right, it gets them into that kind of state of mind already, and that it's okay to have something wrong with you, and it's okay to look for help instead of like, I'll be fine, I'll be alright, and just to brush over. There's nothing wrong with. In fact, if there's something wrong with you, it means you're normal.
100%.
You know what I mean? And I think kids really need to have that, especially we were talking about earlier on with the social media effects in kids and all that kind of stuff. To be able to have something like that, where you can say, how are you actually feeling today? Not, are you just sat there swiping left to right, doing whatever, not feeling anything, being numb. You know what I mean? So it's sad. That last comments on the page for everybody listening is like all the writing on the left-hand side, and little post-it notes going to the right, and at the very bottom it's got this one saying, I'm in a really dark place with a broken heart, and there's like 5 sticky notes that kids have obviously gone and stuck on there. It's crazy, bro. And so it just reminds you how fragile kids are, because I never think of kids having, to be honest with you, bro, I never thought of kids having mental health problems. Unless they had like some weird stuff happen to them, you generally just think kids were picking snot and scratching their ass and running around.
Pretty happy, doing whatever they want, but
unless they have like some unfortunate event happens to them as kids. But I suppose,
they're human too.
They're human, bro. They're just little mini depressed people, opposed to the fully grown caffeinated ones. You know what I mean? They've got their own little problems, but it's a way. But look, the happy part of that, I suppose, is that this lady's now recognised it, and that's obviously going to spread like
Oh
wildfire.
yeah, it has gone
I'd say.
viral in San Francisco. It's like there's loads of different
Oh,
versions
jeez.
of
Okay.
them.
Okay, wow. So there's other ones that have been brought up here.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Different
big.
teachers are taken on from
Wow, man.
Xenos. Like everyone just keeps doing it. So it's pretty cool.
Wow, dude, that is brilliant. So, but again, yeah, man, it's sad, dude. It's sad and good because
Yeah.
it's like at least these kids are getting some help. But it also, I think that there's lots of kids who might not have this kind of safe space environments at home.
Yeah.
Some kids, I think, could have an upbringing where they're ultra open with their family and will talk about everything. Then you might have some other kids where they don't even tell their dad they are right or whatever, and then where do these kids go? They're not going to confide in their friends probably. The last shot for them is their teachers. You know what I mean? Which is where the safeguarding the children and all that kind of stuff comes in. Is very often these kids, I suppose, don't have much of a choice of who to go to, and I think they probably will have people like myself brush them off and say, you're not mentally ill. You just go play outside. Meanwhile, maybe the kids got serious kind of stuff going on inside there. But yeah, man, it's sad, dude. And I think that I don't know how much we're actually doing to curb the mental illness thing by so many people being online and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's more so maybe becoming a bigger thing, especially as we're talking about it more, because kids are on these social media platforms as well, if not more. That's why there's like they've brought out a lot of the things where you can stop people from using. I know on iPhone they have a new timer where you can lock yourself out of apps. You can only go on apps on certain times.
Yeah, if you've been on there for like 4 hours already,
they'll lock you out or something.
It's brilliant, dude. And I've got my little thing on mine where at the end of every week it gives me feedback and it says you 10% more than last week.
I keep going down every week. It's great.
Yeah, it's random. Yeah. It's random. I think because now all of a sudden you are a little bit aware, like oopsie daisies. Because I get all the time, man. And you know what it's like? Just because you're bored, you'll start going through your Facebook, then all of a sudden you're looking at stuff you've already scrolled through and you're well aware you've already scrolled through it, but you're going to scroll through it again in the hope that there's going to be something there. And what did you do beforehand, bruh? What did you do before? What did you used to do when you're like on the bog or on the train or something like that?
I don't remember.
Don't remember? I don't remember life before I could just scroll through some kind of social media, bro.
I don't remember life before I could just do whatever I want. If I wanted to know it, I could find out. I don't remember
just
life
like that, bro. It's like this thing isn't. It's become an extension of us, bro. It's become another limb. And all of a sudden, it's like I don't know what to do. But now with I was speaking to my sister today, and basically we just got tickets for Endgame, I think for the 26th or something like that. We're going to be seeing it. So we think for the 20th, I think this comes out on the 24th or 5th. Either way, I think for like 2 days I'm going to have to just not go on social media. Already I had to follow 1 or 2 pages on Instagram because they put up like a spoiler. I won't say anything. But I already had to unfollow a couple of pages. So I'm, to be honest with you, dude, looking forward to actually not being on social media for a couple of days because I have a valid reason not to, because I don't want to ruin the movie. And I always know, like every now and again I try, emphasis on the word try, to have like Sundays without any social media or something like that. And I do quite well very often where like I'll check it by the evening. And even when I do that, and this sounds so pathetic, but even when I eventually check my Instagram, it actually feels like better because I haven't looked at it for a lot. I'm like, oh, this is a little bit nicer looking on Instagram than what it normally is. And it's like, how pathetic is that, bro? It's bloody, I should be writing some more poetry or something like that, not looking at my mate's dinner that they had and thinking this is good. And so it's like, what standard of life have we not taken as like being great? It's like, no, bro, we could be flying to another country or something like that. But yeah, man, that's just the social media issues that we've got these days. And that's why I think our parents said it's slightly better, man. Have you got like a thing on your screen so people can't read it from the side?
Yeah, it's a privacy screen.
Clever
you can
idea,
only see it if you're looking directly at it. It's fantastic.
I like that, man.
It's great because you get like every now and then I'm on the bus and I get like
someone
looking over my shoulder like, how's he scrolling? What's he tapping on the dark screen? Like you just see the person looking over my shoulder. It's
like, oh, he must be special.
And then every now and then people are like, oh, why is your screen so dark? No, it's not.
Like, no, his parents just gave him a toy phone, keep him occupied on his way home there.
What time are we on? Okay, cool. I will do random facts for you.
Random facts. That sounds good to me, dude.
Okay, so I found 3 random facts. The first one is the man who invented the frisbee was...
Okay.
Okay, the man who invented the frisbee was cremated and turned into a frisbee.
What? Did they use him though?
I guess so, yeah.
Yes, so, yeah. Shit, he must have been well into that, eh?
Yeah.
Where did you find